Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here on the eve of Slammiversary. Lots of talk coming about Jeff Jarrett making his return to TNA. What was the what was going to come of all of this? Some people thought that maybe he'd be going into the TNA Hall of Fame, joining Sting, Kurt Angle, and Team 3D. Some people thought that he might be taking back over the company, or maybe getting a restake in ownership, and maybe helping guide the ship. Maybe people thought that Jeff and Dixie were going to combine, and merge Global Force Wrestling and TNA, and try to bring him back into the fold. And it was a fun couple of days. But the rumor has come out today that it might even be a spoiler. Spoiler alert. That Jeff Jarrett is going to be going in to the TNA Hall of Fame, which is going to be held on either the July 29th or the August 5th edition of Impact. Normally, in the past 3 years at Slammiversary, they've had the announcement of who is going to go into the Hall of Fame, and then the big build-up. With Kurt Angle, they even built up a big match for Bound for Glory, with Angle going up against Rude, with Team Ego basically saying that they wanted to put themselves into the Hall of Fame, that he didn't, deserve to go in there. But, there they are, inducting him on an edition of Impact, which I think is going to be the conclusion of the Jeff Jarrett storyline inside of TNA. I guess there is going to be no Global Force Wrestling invasion. It didn't really make sense to me for them to be putting Jarrett into the Hall of Fame at the same time of them running some sort of Global Force invasion. And that would have been a sticky situation as it was. If you look at the roster of people that wrestles for Global Force. As of right now, it looks like a fun indie to go to if you live in one of those towns at one of the baseball stadiums. I wish they would come to Sacramento, California. But, with guys like Machine Gun Anderson and, Luke Gallows, you got to worry about, what would happen to them in New Japan, where they're making a ton of money. I'm sure that them wrestling for Global Force is just them getting, an extra booking here in the States. And I wouldn't doubt there's no way in the world they're making as much money as they make over there, and they're not going to risk doing that. And who else is going to be on the roster? Maybe you can think of them maybe building up to it, but as of right now, I don't think it's going to be happening in the next foreseeable future, seeing how this week TNA Impact is filmed all the way up into August. There's been lots of names coming out that are jumping ship from TNA. James Storm, Magnus, Austin Aries. Maybe that's how they're going to play into it. Maybe it'd be later on in the year, into the fall, when this happens. But as of right now, it was fun to think about for a couple of days. But until I saw this news about Jarrett being put in, I thought they would be able to push it back a little bit more. Maybe the storyline would run into October, and then they would put him in, or that maybe. TNA doesn't even think they're going to make it to Bound for Glory to put somebody into the Hall of Fame. And last year, I don't even know if they really had a big, ceremony for it, since, Bound for Glory was held in Japan. I went to the Kurt Angle one. I thought it was really fun. My friend Miguel went to the Sting one. He said it was a really nice setup and a really nice, to do. But, Dixie Carter and Mike Tenay being in the ring with Jeff Jarrett, putting him into the Hall of Fame with Karen there as well. Doesn't really make sense if they're running any kind of storyline with, Global Force Wrestling taking over and invading the Impact Zone.